Hello, how are we all doing? I hope you are seeing me as you are supposed to. My name is Castristics. You'll probably notice that I do have Jay Tyler just there. However, he is a still image because we couldn't get the what's it to work in time, his camera to get set up in time. So you've got just me on camera. However, welcome. This is a bit different to our normal F9 streams, isn't it?
Oh God, I'm more nervous than when I first raced in this league. Hello everybody. If my mic does cut out, I'm very sorry. It's a basic setup for now. I'll try and get it sorted for next week. Blame Carter because he gave me about 6 hours notice.
6 hours is plenty. Come on.
I was on FIFA. Like I'm not gonna, Anyway, we are here in Abu Dhabi. You can't see it on the screen like usual. But hopefully you enjoy the picture. I was just looking at it. It's quite funny actually. I thought I'd do a little bit of a funny picture instead of a boring, still image. Anyway, Carter, we're on Discord instead of PlayStation Party.
We are. It's very different.
It is different. This is.
Though it should be all right actually. It's not a whole lot different, is it? Other than the fact that you can see me. And we've got nice little adverts for our title sponsors, GT Omega. Check them out. And there was another one I was supposed to run. We'll run that between qualifying. Either way, should we talk about where we're going today? Because we're going to Abu Dhabi.
Oh God.
5.281 kilometers, 16 turns. Obviously, very, very different nowadays to what it was not too long ago. What would you say is the best overtaking opportunity? Down into the first or the second of the long left-handers?
I'll say the first one. So with a massive list. The first one, because obviously we saw Max Verstappen, he overtook there in 2021 in controversial fashion. But obviously the second hairpin is more of a like a very fast section instead of the first one where you can actually absolutely send it. But they opened it up to increase increase staying behind the other car, which is what the problem was. So yeah, it's a good circuit now. It's very fast flowing, it's very, very momentum based now, whereas Sector 3 usually you kill your momentum. Now it doesn't tend to kill your momentum. I'm looking forward to this Grand Prix. A lot of people have been complaining about how boring it's been. So if it's boring, it's boring. If it's not, then I'll be loving my life.
Well, we will just have to wait and see whether it is boring or not. But I don't think it should be. It should go rather well. We should be getting underway now. Oh, a spectator.
Yeah, make sure you get a spectator. Yeah.
You are a hero. Your camera voice is slower than your voice normal. My camera voice. Oh dear, I haven't synced them up. Yeah, sorry. I haven't synced my camera up. That's annoying. Oh well, either way, we'll skip and we'll go straight into here. As we are getting ready to go. 25 seconds until we get underway. There was one other thing that I did want to talk about, and that was our championship, which you can see on the screens. Oh, that's the wrong one. Oh, this is going very well. No, that's your driver's standings. Yossi still comfortably on top. Still comfortably on top. He's got 26 points above anybody else. However, that doesn't mean the championship is wrapped up just yet. With the 2 races to go, second place Tam can still deliver 34 points over the top of Yossi. So that means, ladies and gentlemen, we do still have a championship on our hands. It can, however, be finished today. If Yossi wins and Tam gets minimal points, then it's all over.
Yeah, all over. Abu Dhabi is obviously known for many championship battles. 2010, famous one there. Not 2012, almost 2012, that's not true. 2010 is the most famous one, probably 2021, more famous than the rest. Let's go to 2010. There was like 5 drivers competing for the title. Vettel was third behind Hamilton and Alonso. Alonso got stuck behind a pesky Renault, a bright yellow Renault, and he didn't come home. He came home in peace, 6 or 7, and he lost the championship. And the famous 3 words, "Du bist Weltmeister," was born as Sebastian Vettel won the World Championship, his first of 4 in a row. And yeah, 15 drivers then. I'm excited. Algato, Oh, I can't wait.
We're doing stuff properly nowadays, aren't we? We are very professional in absolutely no way whatsoever. Well, we have got a couple of little additions, such as our lovely little PSGL down at the bottom left-hand corner, as you'll see next to the F1 sign, as well as GTO Mega sitting at the top of your screen. So it's a little bit different, but a little bit of the same as well. You won't be too confused, I'll tell you that for free. It's not many drivers today, I can't lie. 15. We've had a bit of a stinker. It's the second to last race, so you kind of expect it. It's actually probably one of the lowest attended races we've had this season. Maybe not the lowest attended.
It tends to. We've tended more. Well, obviously, wasn't here last week due to reasons that, yeah, Arthur knows. But basically, we was 15 last time I was here. It's 15 before. There tend to be 15 drivers. A lot of drivers tend to lose motivation because they're not in a championship battle. They had a rubbish season. They just lose that motivation. So obviously, I know obviously a lot of people's personal lives came back in with January, Christmas time. You know, people away, you're away from work, away from school. Now obviously everyone's back in, settled into the groove again. So yeah, it's fair enough. I mean, we will see how the drivers provide a 15-car grid for Abu Dhabi. It's fine. It's fair enough. The racing action can be produced.
Well, as of usual, we have 18 minutes of qualifying. 2 minutes gone already, as a couple of drivers are beginning to make their way out onto the track. Our first driver across the line, by the looks of it, is a Williams or an Alpine. No, it is a Williams. It's Tijo will be the first to start a lap with the Mercedes just behind. Also, notably, Yossi isn't here today. Whereas Zartam is. So this could be a great opportunity for him to catch up some points and get himself in a really good position to win this championship.
I didn't even notice that.
No. In fact, the two Hasses are filled by Chrissy and Scopez.
Wow. Okay. Just to let you know, Alari Tristan is Boeing, the league admin. He just had what's the word? Just had an account king.
Yes, yeah, he has.
That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, he's changed his account. He is still, that is Boeing, VE Boeing there, LRE Tristan. Just to clarify, I was very confused when someone just randomly in Discord just called Tristan started messaging, thinking like he owned the place, and then I realised, oh wait, he does own the place.
Yeah.
So a couple of drivers getting underway now. Fastest second sector by T-Show, which means he is still validated, running around pretty well at the moment. We'll see he's coming through the last couple of corners. Obviously this track has been really heavily revised over the last year. Have we had a race on the new track, PSGL? I genuinely, my memory doesn't serve me well enough.
No, because it was going to be in last season, and obviously got rid of it because of the penalty glitch. And not many people actually like the track anyway, because it's very, very slow.
It
not
is.
slow, but very, very boring.
It can be a little bit of a snooze fest. I'll give him that. Det Show's gone and set the fastest time, and considerably faster than Quiestro and Stiggy. Stiggy 8/10 back. A couple of other drivers beginning to get underway as well.
Yeah, I think Stiggy had a bit of an issue coming out the turn 3, flat out. He went a bit wide, lost a lot of time. But, Quiestro actually stopped on it straight with a turn round. Like a lot of people do that in practice, like with no rules, they go turn around and straight back into the pit. So that was quite funny to point out.
Well, a couple more drivers beginning to set some times. That T-Show still holding on as the reigning fastest, with Luca putting in a time 2.5 tenths, and then Scopez getting closer still, 2 tenths away. The Haas driver trying to fill in nicely for possibly a bit of an upset. Haas at the moment still leading the Constructors' Championships. However, they haven't got that championship wrapped up either. However, with two drivers, they can still feel safe, I guess in their ways, they've still got two drivers, of which Scopez clearly showing good pace around this track. Shizzy's not set a time yet. However, he's about to come across the line, and he's going to go P9. That was definitely a second outlap, 15 seconds off the pace. You'd like to think it was anyway. Other drivers, Georgius coming down the back straight, and here we go. Here's Suarez about to come around the final corner. He's going to go and set a fastest time, a 1:23.3, so considerably faster than Det Show. 0.167 back.
Yeah, good lap time from him. We will see how the drivers, obviously, track evolution evolves. Obviously, this the second ever night race to be held in F1 history behind Singapore.
Yeah.
First ever race here was 2009, I believe. Oh God, who won that? Was it a Braun that won that race? No, it must have been a Red Bull. Might have been a Red Bull or Braun. I can't remember the two, but it was first 2009, and it's been on the calendar ever since. A lot of people didn't want it to be on the calendar. A lot of people do want it to be on the calendar. They're like Marmite, this track. You either love it or hate it. I personally. I love the new version. I hate the old version. So there we go. Changed a lot of opinions. The new version than what the old version has.
Yeah, well, I don't mind Abu Dhabi as a track. As Yas Marina is a circuit, I think it is quite a good circuit. I just think for a lot of people, including myself, it's the fact that it's a season ender. I think it would do a lot better also, but Shizzy's made his way up to P4 and BR4 has just come across P3. The track looking very, very close together, and I think that's kind of what the track's been working as well, to try and get a bit of a closer track. But on top of that, I think, going back to what I was just saying, it's a great track, but people don't want it as a season ender. Unfortunately, money talks in F1, and that's why. But it shouldn't be completely disregarded just because everybody doesn't like it being the season ender, is my opinion.
Yeah, it's not the best, as Tango second actually. It's not the best season ender, but it's not the worst. Obviously, you had Caesar's Palace ended the season in 1981, I believe. So I mean, you've had worse, but Brazil would probably be the better fit to end the season. I think everyone would prefer that. Brazil's probably it's more of a classic track, isn't it? The historic track for the drivers to drive on. So I prefer it. I'm pretty sure everyone else would as well.
Yeah. Well, a couple of drivers out on track at the moment. Zartam being one, however, going rather slowly. So I believe he's on an in-lap. Oh yeah, he definitely is. He's gone very, very close to Suarez there. Just under half a tenth away. So he's doing rather well. The Red Bull showing what he can do, especially what now Georgius is here. He wants to be winning this race. So unsurprisingly, he's got to put in a very, very strong starting lap. Other drivers out on track include Kiestro in the Williams, who's been doing pretty decently. So over the last couple of races, I leave myself to believe. However, most people in the pits and a couple on outlaps. So would you? Yeah, the question: would you? What's the word? 2 fast laps or 3 around Abu Dhabi?
Would I do 2 or 3 fast laps on Abu Dhabi?
Yeah.
Ooh, tough one. I'd probably say 2, but 3. I did 3 on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's very easy to spin out on this track now. So you want to leave yourself to move, do 3. Many drivers will do. Many drivers will do like 2 because they can do it. Some drivers will do 1 because they think they're good enough. Mitsubi's joined, by the way, and the Alpha Tower race, so it's 16 drivers now. Many drivers will do just 1 lap, do 1 fast lap, and then go in. Be happy.
Mm-hmm.
Yours used to do that a couple of seasons ago. As Piaget's actually gone fast to do here. He's gone perfectly, so he's doing 2100 up time. So I don't know. So definitely won't be now. Teacher has gone fastest. The Williams looks strong.
The Williams does look very, very strong. He's only just taken Suarez's time, 7 thousandths of a second faster. However, it's still faster nevertheless, and it's a very, very good time to say the least. With that though, that
Yeah.
puts him at the top of the standing, at the top of our timing sheet, which is actually pretty close at the moment. 1.3 seconds splits top to 14th. Obviously, we now got 16 drivers as well, as you mentioned earlier, and very, very close midfield, isn't it? From P5 to P9, split by just 2/10, and then it's then 3/10 back to Georgius. But that is a very, very close midfield. We've been rather clean so far, so I feel like I'm almost building a bit of a stereotype here and talking about it. But safety cars, is it something that we need to worry about, or is it something, especially around this track that's got a big, I guess?
Oh, okay. Safety cars. We've seen in real life, but that's because the FIA in real life just trigger anything with safety cars. Nicholas Latifi. But certain parts of the track, yes, like what's where Nicholas Latifi famously crashed in 2021. But some parts of the track, no. But safety cars can be a threat around here. They always have been, they always will be. But yeah, I feel like a safety car is probably inbound. But the part that the sequence that Question was just going through now is the most beautiful sequence on any F1 track I think I've ever seen. The hotel that's lighting up, changing colours. I love it. It's one of the best features on an F1 track, if not the best feature on an F1 track of all time. I just love it.
Oh, agreed wholeheartedly. Notably, BR4, Luke has just gone and set a very, very strong time there that puts him P5. BR4 has gone fastest in Sector 2, though is only half a tenth faster than his standard time. Coming around the last couple of corners, we'll keep watching him. There is an AlphaTauri ahead. That is not Suarez. Oh, is it? No, it's not Suarez. It's Mitwee, who's just about to come across the line to start a lap by the looks of it. BR4 does improve, but it's just not enough to get himself into a higher position, unfortunately for him. Zartan currently struggling a little bit. He's down on his time at the moment. But with all of Sector 2 to go, I think he's still got plenty of time to claw that back. I'd say Sector 3 is probably the hardest bit of this track. Sector 1, very, very flowing. Sector 2, pretty much full throttle all the time, except for that tiny little chicane in the middle there. But Sector 3 is actually where it gets a little bit challenging around this circuit, and that's really where you're going to be making and losing time. So we'll see there. Zartan a tenth and a half down on his time at the moment. So he's not doing all that great. Whether he can turn that around in the final sector, whether he made a big mistake that he knows he can fix on. If not, I wouldn't be surprised to see him back off and, preserve the tyres and go for another lap.
Exactly.
Oh, and he spins just as I say that.
That was so loud in my ear. Oh my god! And the Mercedes of Stiggy just getting past him, probably about being too pressured. He's on 3 times, so back and he's still. I said this in the first place of the season, Carter. I said this would be so close. It's been so close all season. I'm gonna miss it. I'm
I'm really gonna miss it. But this is no time to be missing stuff for now, because we do still have another race on our hands. But the thing is, right, is there's something that I really struggle with. Do you want to know what I struggle with?
Oh no.
I struggle with being really comfortable during races. I just feel like I'm sort of scooting around here, there and everywhere, and I can't quite sit back and relax and enjoy the races that I want to watch. Right?
The issue is I'm the same, but I can't move as much because I don't know if you guys can hear it. My chair squeaks so much. But chairs that don't squeak as much are GT Omega chairs. You can get one yourself, as the sponsor shows.
Yeah, they are absolutely top quality. You'll be seeing a fair amount of them during tonight's show. They're absolutely brilliant. Honestly, I can't give any complaints about GT Omega. And they're so nice that they sponsor us. Isn't that incredible? You would have never known, would you? Never known.
No. The leaps and bounds, I say it every week, the leaps and bounds, this league has gone on. I'm proud. It's like watching your son grow. It's beautiful.
It's absolutely stunning. The gap has got, the gap hasn't actually got closer, but bar P15 of Tristan, it's under a second from 14 to first as of right now.
Yeah.
Demort's just very, very close to that second mark, but he's under it. I can see this being, if we get the luck of battles occurring, if the holy gods of racing want to let us watch the battles, I think we're going to see some really, really good battles today.
Yeah, I mean, the drivers got hyped in the Discord chat, didn't they, about the GT Omega, you know. Obviously, hopefully they'll put on the show for it. But I know you guys are thinking, obviously, once the pictures come up, Carter doing his thing on the camera, obviously me doing my picture that he asked for thoroughly. I will say, yes, I do need a haircut. Don't remind me. But I hope I'll get one before next season. You know, times are tough right now. Anyway.
Chiestro Chiestro is about to come up and start his time. We've got 2 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock now. So if everything's delayed and whatnot, please tell me, because that was a very good indicator. Either way, Chiestro is underway. There's a couple of drivers now beginning to get themselves onto outlaps. That includes Scopez, Chizzy, Stiggy, Zartan, Suarez and Tisho. So pretty much everybody now leaving the pit lane, ready to get themselves going. But this is the bit that we all come to love about qualifying. It is the shootout, as there is a Mercedes. Oh, what is Stiggy doing? Right, just manoeuvring his way around the chicane in very interesting fashion there. Zartan just getting close to starting his lap, as you can see, is trying to warm his tyres desperately. Long straights down this track really don't help with your tyre warming whatsoever. However, we shall keep on Chiestro, because he is well underway in his lap. In fact, he's just about approaching onto Sector 3. Half a second up on his time at the moment. If he can improve drastically into Sector 3, he could break himself into the top 10. That is exactly where he'll want to be. Georgia is rather angry at the fact that some people have broken the braking boards, which is rather unfortunate. He's sorry, Chiestro just invalidating. As a couple more drivers getting themselves underway, I think we'll switch to Tam. Yeah.
Just honestly, some of the banter that's been happening in that chat is quite funny, actually. Anyway, who is on a good lap? Who's next to come across the line?
I think it might be Tam, but actually to start a lap, because annoyingly there's this awful glitch in the game, right? So Georgius, take a look at Georgius here. Okay, his lap is invalidated, but it's not telling me he's on an outlap. He is on an outlap. He's about to come across the line to start his lap. You'll see his time is 3 minutes 34. It doesn't actually tell you, and it's really annoying, because then you start to think that people are on outlaps, but they're not, but they are, and it's very confusing. Tam, though, hasn't improved through Sector 1 and Sector 2. He's going to have to make an absolutely monumental Sector 3 if he wants position, and he's done just that. What a third sector that must have been. He was nearly a tenth down on Sector 1 and 2. Either way, that is him done, though he has just about made the line, so he could in theory go again, but without any ERS there's not really much point. Tisho coming across the line, and Suarez going slowly, so by the looks of it that's his qualifying over. So it's now down to Tisho to see whether he can improve. Well, he was nearly 400ths of a second faster, so he doesn't have much to go. He needs another 300ths of a second. If he can pull a 10th here, then he's comfortably into pole position. Well, it would be only provisional pole, but has he taken it? He has. That is a very good lap as well. 23-1, and Luca has come through. Surprise! Oh, wow. That's a very good lap time.
Wait, hang on, BR4's up as well. He's up by a 10th here, but more than a 10th, he'll go like hundreds off. If his time to the tail, will go about hundreds off Luca. Comes up the line.
He's gone! He's done it! Oh! Only just though, 4,000ths of a second.
I told you. I did tell you they're hyped. I tell you, put on a show for us. Well, they've done just that, haven't they?
Oh, what a qualifying shootout we've had so far. And with Suarez into the pits, that is his qualifying over. He'll start P5 after being P2 not 2 minutes ago. That is unfortunate for him. We'll have to see what on earth happened during his qualifying lap to cause that. He might rage a little bit in the chat. Luca with incredible sadness, unsurprisingly. And I think we're now just waiting on Zartan to pit, and there we go. That is done, ladies and gentlemen. That is qualifying complete. And what a qualifying that was.
Yeah, that was a great qualifying.
I wasn't expecting it to be quite that close.
Great qualifying.
Yeah, well, fastest lap goes to BR for the McLaren. It's a 123.146. Other than that, Luca in P2, Detticho P3, Zartan P4, Suarez P5, Chissy P6, Georgios P7, Sticky P8, Scopez P9, Windex P10, Piestro P11, Reporti P12, Zartom P13, Mitwi P14, Demorts P15, and Tristan P16. Sorry. And with that, take a little look at these amazing. And you join us just in the nick of time as we are about to get underway here at Abu Dhabi. It's 5 red lights and no formation lap as per usual. I finally remembered it, and it's going to be BR who gets the better start of the two. In fact, Lucas had a pretty appalling start there, and in fact the Red Bull is going to sneak to the inside and he might be able to take P2 here, but no, but the Williams has come through. They're running very, very wide there. He might have to give the position back. You're not too sure yet, and that's Chrissy going around the outside there very nicely, just about holding on there as he's fighting his own teammate Scopez for P4, P5 and P6. With that, Zoltan already got a little bit of a break as BR and Detticho are beginning to run away a little bit of the Haas, having to defend for his life as the Luca trying to sneak around the outside, and I think he might just about get this move here, as it's going to be the two Alfa Romeo and the Haas that are going to go side by side down into the chicane. Let's see who's got it. Is he going to be the Alfa Romeo on the outside line? He's got the faster pace, and yes, they do slot into position. And oh, there's a collision there. That's the Red Bull gone round in circles. That's forced Luca off the track, and he's going to have to rejoin safely as he does. With that though, the Red Bull only losing a couple of positions. That's Zoltan down to P7. The two Hasses still glued to one another as the Aston Martin going rather slowly down the back straight, and that's possibly him just being forced to give that position back. Not too sure. Other than that, very good start.
Yeah, very action-packed start. Top two have gone already. 1.8 seconds. Tam's spinning as well. Obviously, Tam has to put 8 points to keep the championship alive. Well, 8 points or more to keep the championship alive going into USA and Austin, Texas. Obviously, these two swapped for the lap, both ages ago. I can't remember when, but yeah, a lot of people starting the hards. Tristan actually gone into the softs, and 4 on the mediums, and the rest, if my maths are correct, I think 11 are on the medium hard. So
yeah, well, I think we can quite clearly define which is the best tyre today to start on, and what is most certainly the ultimate strategy. Georgios and Scopez and Chrissy, both Hasses deciding to go with the same strategy, which is quite an interesting choice considering the fact that Robbie wants to pick.
yeah, it's an interesting strategy from both sides, but we'll have to see how they do. Obviously, they'll have to. You know, a lot of the team actually.
Sorry, Detticho's going to go down the inside here at the long left hand. Will he be able to hold it? BR goes around the outside, but can he get the better acceleration? It's going to be the Williams. They do make a little bit of a collision. Now heading to the double right-hander, and it's going to be the McLaren with the inside line, and he does manage to get the position, pushing the Williams a little bit wide. The Williams keeps his wheel in there, though. A little bit more. They're going, oh, these is Brilliant wheel-to-wheel racing. Will the Williams be able to get himself round? He doesn't quite manage it, runs off very, very wide, but keeps himself well and truly in the race. And gets a little bit loose over the curb, and it's going to be just a run of fastest lap. The McLaren just about keeps himself in front, and only just as he's rode over the curb a little bit there.
Icho showing his racing for us again. Wasn't he the one that went side by side halfway around Monaco?
You know what? I think it might be as well. This guy's side-by-side fighting is unbelievable.
Was it Yoddi? Or was it an Aston? Was it Yoddi? I can't remember who it was with.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was an absolute incredible battle. But Scopez actually on the back.
He's going to go for it again. T-Show down for the lead of the race. We're going to have basically two of the identical moves happening, one in front of the other. All of them they're making a slight little bit of contact with the back of the McLaren. Nearly sent it spinning. That's going to open the door for the Alfa Romeo to try and take it back, and the other Haas as well with DRS could possibly try and go for a little move here, but the Alfa Romeo comfortably back into P3, and I don't think the Haas has got a run. No, he's going to have to stay behind. Oh no, he's gone for it. I think the Alfa Romeo sort of overshot his braking there, and a little bit of collision.
Who said this was boring, eh?
Oh, he's gone for it. Lovely little switchback. Couldn't quite hold on though. That is and he's nearly hit the wall.
Oh, he said his Haas teammate round though. His Haas teammate's gone round at the same corner, so he must have been distracted there. No wing damage for him, I don't believe. But who said this race was boring, eh?
Oh, no one. Absolutely no one. Well, T-Show beginning to get a comfortable lead now. I say comfortable. It's the largest lead we've seen at the front. 0.8 of a second. BR not particularly under pressure by Georgius, but whether Georgius can catch up, I think T-Show breaks his DRS sooner rather than later.
At the beginning of the chicane, he made a bit of an error though, didn't he? So, excuse me, I believe he will be. I think he'll be quite fine with it. And that DRS is quite strong around this track, so the top three are within all about 1.1 seconds of each other, maybe 1 second of each other now. It's going to be interesting to see. Obviously, there's a massive train as well in the background.
I mean, yeah, we can see it's already down to 5 tenths. I mean, he's not going to be able to make a move with that kind of time gain, but it's definitely close enough to get himself back in the fight, get himself a decent run through sector 3 if that works off. And, you know, is it turn 5? Yeah, turn 5, I'd probably say. The hairpin. He could possibly make a move into there. He's kept himself close enough through sector 3. Whether he makes a mistake now in the oh, that's a Red Bull there. That was Zartan getting a little bit loose. If you just saw on my aerial view, although he has managed to keep hold of the position. Only problem is this DRS train is looking like it's not going to go away, is it? This DRS train.
No, it's not. Obviously, there's been a bit of controversy around this track, hasn't there? And if you've been paying attention to PSGL recently, with cheating allegations and all that, I don't think we should get into it. But obviously, there was 2 people banned from PSGL the last couple of days for cheating in the PC tiers. Obviously, luckily we don't have that on PlayStation, I don't believe.
No.
To my knowledge.
No, I've never ever come across a cheater on PlayStation. But oh, sorry. As we're talking about that is that Scopez? Yeah, he's just managed to sneak around the outside of Windex. That moves himself up into P5, and his wheel definitely looks like that's it.
Yeah, like obviously a lot of people that come out with grip hacks and stuff like this. And there's just no point. Like, it's a league race. Yeah. And then it's a league race. It's a league game. Like, everyone takes that thing seriously. The lack of anti-cheat is not good at all.
Lucas round. And that's caused a little bit of a stir as the Alpine just doing donuts on the track. I don't think that's particularly what he planned for, but it's exactly what's happened. He's got himself back going again, but those tyres are going to be absolutely red hot, spinning just a couple of times around, and that could possibly open the door for a future mistake. However, I think he's got himself under control a little bit, and he is going to make it a little bit of a hard time for the Haas. But not what Wundex wanted whatsoever. He was in such a strong position as well, and Luca also in such a strong position. Now down to P12. He's got a whole lot of work to do if he wants to get himself back up to where he was.
Yeah, he definitely does. Awful mistake, very easy mistake to make as well. As we had our first retirement of the session with VR Team Italy, who is out of the Grand Prix.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for him, though it is in the pit lane, so I'm not sure what caused it. It could be really anything, couldn't it? You never really know when they DNF in the pit lane, whether it's damage and they're just going to be sat lapping on the back all by themselves. At the end of the day, you come here to race and to enjoy yourself and to have fun, so you shouldn't. Whilst it's kind of annoying, because then that's just less drivers, at the same time you don't want to be doing 23 laps by yourself with sort of nothing to gain from it.
Yeah, exactly. That's just why drivers' motivations go. They go halfway through the season though, because they're having a poor season. But fair play to like the likes of Real Body, who haven't had a great season, but they're still continuing on. Tom as well is another one. They're still powering up to be here every week. You know, that's what we like to see. You want to see these drivers compete. You know, Tom's in it today. He's in that battle there. So that little long train. You know, that's fourth, going down to fourth, so fifth. You want to be in that battle. Just want to race, race for fun. You know. Dean wants to go around there actually on turn 3. I believe yes, he has got positions being lost, but you want to battle for these positions. You want to fight. You want to make sure you're having fun. Obviously, league is changed nowadays into having fun to being a lot more sweaty and a lot more practice getting put into it.
Speaking
as these younger guys.
The other Red Bull, Zartan, going down the inside of Piestro there, as just looking behind as well. The Mercedes of Stiggy trying to go down the inside of Tristan, but doesn't quite pull off. He might be able to get a switchback going here though, as he's had a little bit of a mare. There goes Tristan. So, fine, nicely there with Stiggy. Piestro's going to go down the inside, and he's going to try and go back on Zartan. That wasn't very long-lived for the Red Bull whatsoever, as the Williams has managed to get himself back into P5, back into that exactly where he wants to be. Zartan at the moment, not in the kind of position he wants to be, considering the fact that Yossi is.
Yeah, no, he wants to be up there and up pushing for the win. You know, 16 points, being 8 points behind. He hasn't left himself. 17 points though, being 7 points behind. He hasn't left himself in the best of positions to be in. But if Tam does score a win in the fastest lap today, being 7 points behind Yossi will have to finish 4th or below, not 3rd or below, because Yossi has more wins than Tam going into it.
He's nearly gone. He's managed to just about hold on to it, but that could possibly open the door for his teammate to go round the outside. He does let his teammate through. He doesn't want to hold up his teammate, which is a very, very well respected. He makes mistakes. He'll deal with the consequences. He's done that. So, the two Zars in 7 and 8, Tom Tan. That's not confusing whatsoever. Looking to the front of the field, Tito still in front and still maintaining that gap, though he does have a penalty, and he has a penalty of 3 seconds. So as of right now, while still in the lead, net lead, he is struggling.
Yes.
He can still, but he needs to get a shift on if he wants to break this 3-second gap, because it's basically been the same for some time now.
Yeah, I mean, these 3 guys just followed each other, and obviously that was what this track was modernised to do, renovated to do. And they've done that, but you know, these guys are staying close, not trying to push the limits too much. Lap 9 out of 29, remember, on the harder compounded tyres as well, trying to make them last a little bit longer as well. So, yeah, they're just pushing as hard as they can for now about the tyres going, really. They're not expected to see Georgios, BR4 and Ticho in the top 3 today, but here we are.
Yeah, I'm going to say it is pretty impressive stuff from those guys. It's been definitely a big shake-up, as that is the Haas going around in circles. That's not what he wanted. Shizzy now down to P14. Struggling a little bit there going through that turn, which can be quite normal. If you've got quite a low downforce setup, it can get a little bit light through some of the faster corners around this track, so you have got to be careful, especially when you're on those changing altitudes of sector 1. It can get very, very light on that car. And I think we've seen that in example a couple of times now, actually. So Georgius is very, very close to the back of BR. And by the looks of it, that is Suarez that wants to go round the outside of Chiestro. Can he do it? He is on the hard set of tyres and he can't quite pull it off. However, whether he gets a decent enough run, no, I think that is an opportunity well and truly done with. I think just wait for the next DRS straight. Should be his mindset, the number 50 driver. Like I say, DRS train, it has split a little bit. However, it is still very much there. And as close as the drivers may be, it's a little bit lackluster at the moment.
Yeah, I did say this race could be lackluster before we started streaming. It's just the way the track goes on. They got rid of the main overtaking opportunity of turns, I want to say 9, 10, 11, but I don't want to get that wrong. So, yeah, it's obviously they wanted to be momentum. They've got the one main overtaking opportunity, which isn't great, and it's very hard to overtake on the circuit anyway. And get rid of one of the main ones, just doesn't add for good racing.
Yeah, so that is Suarez up in front of Chiestro there, just using that nice long DRS straight. Whether that will hold though, as now Chiestro has this DRS straight to claw himself back. These drivers up here still getting closer and closer still, but can't quite make a move happen. Must be beginning to get a little bit frustrating, I can't lie, for some of these drivers. Looking behind, Suarez has managed to hold on to it though, as we were talking about those guys at the front. Tom and Tar still together. And oh, what's this? This is the Alpine and Luca fighting. Wundet's got the inside line here for the double left-hander. Can he keep hold of it?
Tom's round.
And Tom's round. Oh dear, yes, I've just seen that in front of us, and he did have to slow down there for the yellow flags. Done very, very well, in fact. And we are back into another yellow. Oh, and there we go. Back under greens again. So, Tom, really... sorry, no, just both Red Bulls is struggling with grip.
Yeah, that's quite interesting.
And, oh, speak of the devil, Luca's round.
Wow. Everyone's spinning around. Most what is Kylie Minogue song? I'm spinning around. I think I've been listening to that song a little bit too. No. I think someone in chat has asked to turn game audio down or turn my audio up.
Yeah, I'm on that. I've been and done. Commentator's curse, that was grade A commentator's curse.
A lot of the guys must be listening to some classic Kylie Minogue, you know.
Yeah.
I was going to make sure that's correct. I want to make sure that's right.
Well, what other fights? Georgius is still the closest driver to anybody else. These three drivers, I don't know whether they're just maintaining these positions to right, commentator's curse is getting too strong now. I say Georgius is the closest driver to anybody else, and he goes and makes a mistake into the next program.
Well, there's not been many crashes yet. I'm not saying that about commentator's curse, but not many crashes yet. And I'm kind of thankful that, you know.
No, we haven't had crashes, just spins.
Yeah, which is good. It's good. I'm not going to complain at all.
Yeah, at least, you know, drivers are staying in the race rather than crashing in tremendous heaps and giving us safety cars. They're just, you know, spinning and then getting themselves back round again and going again. Though this could, I guess, open up a bit of an opportunity for BR4. Because now he hasn't got Georgius quite so close to him, he can focus a little bit more on, you know, catching up to T-Show and sort of making the most out of that. But I don't think he particularly wants to get past. He knows he's in a comfortable position. He knows that he's just as fast as this Williams driver because he's been displaying that the entire race. And the fact that he hasn't got a penalty and Det T-Show does, I can't see BR really having much of a reason as of right now. You know, they're on the exact same set of tyres. And oh, what's happened there?
Oh.
Is that Suarez stopped? Yeah, that is Suarez stopped on track. He's back underway and going again, though he was very close to... Oh, speaking of, Zartam and Chiestro are going for it. Zartam's going to launch one round the outside, and he is just about going to hold on to it, as they did make a little bit of contact, I'm pretty sure. And he has got the better acceleration out of the two, but the Williams is going to come down on the inside, perhaps. No, he had a little look, but he decided against it in the end. So that is Zartam up into P5, so a bit more of a position he would have wanted to be in. But it's another 3 seconds to Scopes and then another 5 to the front three runners. It's a lot of pace. Does Zartam have it? Guess we'll have to find out. Speaking of those, Scopez in the pit lane. So that is, he was medium tyres, so that is not surprising. In comes Stiggy as well, also a medium car. So this is kind of reaching the end of the life for the medium tyres by the looks of it. It's just he's going to go for one more lap, as well as Tristan, who is on much more fresh tyres than anybody else's mediums, as well as Luca, who is on his first lap on those tyres. So I reckon the hards will come in maybe what, lap 17, 18? I'm going to say
15, 16, I think it was on the strategy when I last checked, but no, I could be wrong.
I mean, that is a total guess from me, considering the fact I'm just trying to go off the basis if the mediums are lasting 12 laps, then just take 12 off of 30. That was my total. That was just my logic.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair enough, but usually the hards last another 3-4 laps longer, usually. But then again, I'm always wrong. So,
as of right now, I'd say most drivers aren't looking like they've been struggling on tyres. A lot of them have, but I wouldn't say it's like wear problems. It's just been, getting a little bit loose at the rear. But I think that's mainly due to setup. A lot of people running very, very low setups for this track. So as soon as they hit the corners, especially in Sector 1 and Sector 3, they really, really struggle because of, you've got this massively long straight. You need a low drag car, especially in this game, to have any chance of keeping up with anybody. 16 to 19 is a normal hards window. Cheers, mate.
Thank you very much. That's actually very useful. Helps us a lot with like when people are going to pit, because also a lot of these guys are on the same compound of tyres. They're all going to be pit at the same time.
Yeah, unless anybody wants to try fancies an undercut. Which, out of everybody, I reckon Georgius will probably try an undercut. I think he's in the best position out of anybody to go for the undercut, because he's got those two drivers in front of him that, in his opinion, they might be holding him up. I'm not too sure. I haven't really seen enough of the battle to see if there's anybody particularly struggling. Detisho on a lot less ERS though, but that could just be because he's had to keep himself in front of the DRS drivers. So perhaps Georgius, I reckon, would probably be the most likely contender for an undercut out of everybody. Do you agree?
Yeah. It depends, because also obviously overcuts can be quite strong in in this game, but we'll have to see. So we will have to see about everything. So, obviously these drivers know what they've been doing. They've been practicing all week, so they can't really
complain. And it's been pretty close racing as of right now. A couple of gaps beginning to form across the track as you sort of see a couple of smaller groups together. You've got these three drivers here, Paulie, Wundex and Demore, sort of the back runners of the hards, as well as then Suarez, Yestro and Tam together, and then obviously the front three. The medium drivers are a lot more, the two medium drivers that are left, a lot more spread out, and the people that have just switched on to hards also very, very spread. So perhaps that might change a little bit once we actually start seeing the hard drivers coming in. Maybe everybody might group together a little bit more. However, Detisho, BR and Georgius still running perfectly, and I haven't seen, since Georgius made that little mistake there, I haven't seen one of these make a mistake. And whilst it's great to see the sort of the three drivers running so well together, one of them needs to make a move, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, Tam's coming now. It's going to be an interesting sequence as my PC started right a little bit. Not good. No, it'll be an interesting, if you can hear that, but it'll be an interesting sequence, because these guys are not even in second anymore. They're 9/10 in. Can we see overtake here?
See, it's perfectly viable, but I think Tisho's just using enough ERS to keep himself safe for a couple of points. I think BR can definitely go for a move. I think he just chooses to stay behind as of right now. He doesn't need that position.
Oh,
And I
Stiggy's
mean,
round.
is Stiggy round
No
again?
front wing.
Oh no,
No front wing.
Stiggy, what's happened, mate? What's happened?
He really didn't talk to us before the race.
I know he didn't go. It's because we're not on a PS party. He didn't come in just or just join.
Yeah, exactly.
What a shame. Usually it's lovely. We get a race debrief by Stiggy.
We get one anyway.
Yeah, and we get a make fun of Jack session. Great.
That's what, I'm kind of happy we did Algarve now because I don't have to get to talk to him. He's got literally no front wing and he cannot turn, so that's good for him. Yeah, these three are just close, aren't they? 99, I want to say Ticho 21, 24. Not Ticho, 21 for BR4 and Georgios in 40. Is that or 45? I think that's 45. Yeah, 45. There you go. There's your numbers for the top three. Did not expect these three to be here, and it's close. But it's long. Lap 17, 29. They've gone really quickly.
I know. 17 laps done already. We are well and truly over the halfway mark. And I think BR's finally going to go for it. It's the moment we've all been waiting for quite a few laps. BR's going to sneak it down the inside. However, the Williams will have the inside line for that right-hander. And it is going to be a better acceleration from the McLaren. However, with the Williams having DRS, will he be able to sneak it back going into the long left-hander? Well, he's going to have to go to the outside. The McLaren defending wonderfully there. And it's going to be close. He's going to try a little switchback by the looks of it. And basically pushing the McLaren through there. And he does get a little bit wobbly on the exit. So that gives BR the comfortable lead of the race. And in fact puts him under a little bit of pressure from Georgios, but couldn't capitalise on that little wiggle. He was just a little bit too far back, was the Alfa Romeo. Either way, Tisho back down into P2 after quite a few laps and struggling to say the least. He's just come out a little bit wobbly after there, as well as all three enter the pit lane at the exact same time.
That's just annoying.
Yeah. At least we could have quite a fun looking pit exit. I'm interested to see, could it be an alt Suarez also in the pit lane as well as Wundex? So that, by the looks of it, is most of the hard drivers other than Chiestro. Pardon me, other than Chiestro and Demorts staying out. Scopez obviously on fresher hards. So that's not too much of a problem. BR's managed to get a pretty decent run out of the pit compared to the other two drivers. Who are going to be sacked a little bit closer together. In fact, Georgios could possibly make a little bit out of this, but no, he is going to stay behind.
This could get interesting, by the way. Let's get interesting. We know how take on this track, and they're in traffic.
Oh, Georgios has got the run of a lifetime on the Williams driver here. An amazing exit has given Georgios a comfortable position. Though, I say that, the Williams is going to launch one up the inside. Does make a lot of contact with the rear wheel. That's definitely a penalty incoming. Or perhaps it would have been if he'd have gone all the way around. However, the Alfa Romeo does still keep the position for now. And very vigorous defending is going to force the Williams to the outside. Can he get himself round? No, he can't. Does make a little bit of contact with that rear right of the Alfa Romeo. And stays behind for now. So Tisho is still in P6 and still fighting the Alfa Romeo, though the Alfa Romeo could possibly use these next couple of corners to make a little bit of a break. He definitely then wants to catch up to BR, who's now about to try his luck on the Haas as he has to swerve his teammate who's coming into the pit lane. So he's going to have to wait for Scopez on lap 19 perhaps. He might be able to go around this lap, or might have to wait for another. Either way, he'll want to get past sooner rather than later, because the sooner he gets past, the more he can then try and break away from Georgios and Tisho, who obviously lost a fair amount of time doing that fight, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. And you know, they always will, because obviously you're going to lose a lot more time because you're not going to get the best exits out of corners and stuff like that. But Georgios has lost all of his DRS on that lap, defending and pushing. And it comes BR4, it easily gets past Scopez, does he? Does Scopez fight it? Not really, but you have to arrest. Maybe BR4 should have waited for the next DRS straight, because Scopez will have the DRS, but I don't think he'll use it really to as extent as we saw BR4 use it against him.
comfortably in front now. BR back to where he started the race. Speaking of, let's have a little look at some people that have made some nice, very strong races so far. Well, it's Scopez that's doing rather well at the moment, up 7 places, higher than any other driver. Georgia's up 4 as well, doing rather well. Vilpordi up 6 in the Ferrari. And Demort's up 5 in the McLaren at the moment. Big loss, though, from Luca, who's down 12. Ouch.
Started P12, P2, ended in P14.
It's not what you want, is it?
No.
Most drivers now on the medium tyres, bar Scopez, Zartom and Shisi, all on the hard tyres, so absolutely no soft runners whatsoever. So to be honest, we usually only ever see softs nowadays if we have a safety car. That's it. If we have a safety car, we often see that come out. But other than that, we don't really see the soft tyres at all. Though we did see them at the start of the race, didn't we?
We did on Kristen as well. Skeeter sent it on Georgia. Sorry.
Oh God,
Georgia
Jesus! What is going on here?
What's going on here? It's going to get interesting. Scopez.
They're going to go through wide.
No, please don't. Oh my God.
T-Show is just going to hold on to it. Is Scopez going to go for it? He's gone for it! Ah!
They're going to be like, what the hell are you doing, Scopez?
What on earth is going on? Scopez still drastically trying to hold on to this. Does lose out eventually. Falls down to the back of the 3 drivers. Georgius manages to get the win out of that as T-Show makes a final little lunge up the inside of Scopez and does take P3. That was... You know, you sometimes see stuff and it's like, no, I'm just going to watch this because it's so much easier just to watch than to try and listen and try and talk. That was unbelievable.
That's the first bit of action we've had this race, really, isn't it? You know. But yeah, I want a late race safety car. I really want one.
Oh, don't we all? Don't we all?
I think if you're listening, I'm joking. No, like, late race safety car would be beautiful.
Oh, it always is, isn't it? Nice little a late race safety car is the greatest thing man has ever given the human race.
Yeah, it's the best thing on earth.
Problem is well, how do we get one? We usually get one from people crashing, and we don't want to incentivize
Oh, Luca just
crashing.
crashed.
Luca's crashed, as in he's nearly
Reset
crashed.
the track.
He's back underway again though. At least he hasn't lost a position from it, and by the looks of it, no damage either, which is a nice big positive for him. Lap 21 of 29 to go, so 9 more laps, including this one. Don't judge my maths. It is true. It doesn't make much sense, but it is. Yeah, Luca is struggling on wheel still. Okay, so Luca has recently transitioned to wheel by the sounds of it, and is still trying to get to grips.
Sounds like me with with no traction control. I'm still trying to get to grips with it. I've done 2 games on it.
Honestly, when I started using wheel, it was the single most confusing thing ever.
That's why I don't use it. Why am I pad user?
And
PJ 7 taps off. PJ 7 taps off. He's closing.
Yeah. Speaking of, if you're interested in getting a wheel, there's a brilliant website called GT Omega, and it sells some really top quality Moser wheels. So, you know, just use those guys. There's no point in going anybody else, because even if Moser wasn't what you were going to go for, like, you can't. GT Omega are just so perfect. There's no point in going to any other company.
Oh, teacher on Georgius. Georgius. One of the 3 pronunciations will work.
Had a look. Didn't quite pull it off.
Has BR4 won a race this season?
Yeah.
Has he won a race this season? Or my bug?
Georgius?
No, BR4.
No, I don't think so. But I'll tell you what we could do. If they're not going to fight, we can take a little look at our drivers. Say rather quickly. BR. No, he's a reserve driver. Oh no, he's McLaren. No, the most amount of points he's got in a race is
Okay.
so to go from 5 points to a race win is nothing short of impressive, to say the least. However, it's not set in stone just yet. You know, Georgius 1.7 seconds off. He still can claw this back and go for the win. However, drivers now really struggling with ERS as Det Show is going to launch one down the inside here of Georgius. Gets the move done before he hits the brakes. Easy as pie. However, with the next DRS straight, we could see a possible change perhaps. Georgius, though, quite a way back, half a second. It would be difficult to get a move done there, as I don't think he's going to go for it. No, he's going to try and conserve a little bit of ERS, as a lot of these front drivers have used a lot of their ERS up. Could be in for a bit of a problem, because Scopez, okay, yeah, he's back and on the hards, but he has got a little bit more ERS, and a lot of drivers now really struggling with ERS by the looks of it. I've only seen one person, other than Shizzy, who's got a 71% ERS. He's doing very well. Drivers at the back got loads of ERS. Drivers at the front, dead.
Yeah, but they're pushing as hard as they can. I don't think Teacher will catch up to BR4. I think BR4 can just relax a little bit while still pushing. Not make any mistakes. I think he's got this race won. Hey, excuse me.
Yeah, well, he's got 5 laps more racing to do. I think Georgius, because the thing is, right, unless Georgius thinks that he can go for the race win, if he gets to a point and he thinks, no, I can't see myself winning this, then he has absolutely no incentive to fight T-Show, because T-Show's got that penalty. He can just take it home. I say that, he's just gone and launched the single biggest dive bomb I've ever seen. I reckon he's listening to me, and he's just heard me say that, and he's just thought, you know what, just to annoy him, I'm going to go and put in a Daniel Ricciardo level dive bomb. It didn't quite pull off, but it was very, very close. And
yeah,
that's warning T-Show, isn't it? That's saying, I'm here. Don't forget about me.
Yeah, like, just don't forget. Excuse me. And just do not think you've got this second place because you have a penalty, lad. So just be careful, basically, kind of thing.
Yeah, get a shift on.
But if I'm Ticho, I'll try and push Georgius off the track. Okay, there you go. It's even Steven now.
That throws a spanner in the works.
I think BR4's on this race now, Gaza. I think BR4's on this race now.
I think.
The
amount of stuff that I've said, and then the opposite, the amount of commentators curse we've had today. Anybody can win this race. That's all I'm saying.
He's not got a single warning either. I think he's going to be.
Has he not got a single warning? Oh dear, oh dear. It is looking likely. We'll just put that. It's likely BR4's race as of right now. However, for a driver that hasn't really been in this position all season, let's just hope the nerves don't get to him. Because I saw, what was it? It was some guy. Heart rate went up to 160 during esports. So to anybody, to your mum and dad that say esports isn't a real sport, if you're doing 160 BPM whilst racing virtual cars around, that is a sport. There you go. You can use that argument.
It's the pressure, isn't it?
It's just pressure. And it's an amount of concentration that you need. It's unbelievable.
Diggy's round again.
Diggy round again. Oh, that is.
He is round again. I sent a bit of sarcasm in that comment there, Carter. I sent a bit of sarcasm in that comment.
No, not at all.
Tam's got past Scopez for P4.
He has, yes. However, with a penalty, that's probably going to get him dropped back down to P5 unless he can make that 2-second gap. I say that. Scopez has just had an absolute nightmare running around the outside of the track, and that is going to lose him a fair bit of time. 2.8 seconds now, so that's going to be a very, very close run to the line. He's going to need to hold that 0.2 of a second, as I'm really hoping this is a 3-second. It is a 3-second time penalty. So Scopez, as of right now, is P4 by just 1.5 tenths of a second. So he's going to have to get a shift on if he wants to keep this position. He was looking so comfortable to keep hold of it as well. His curse strikes again.
Why does? Which one is you?
Outrageous. I just need... Sometimes I just feel like I need to stop talking. But then at the same time, that would make our show boring. And why rhyme? I don't really know what's going on. Poet didn't know it. Real Porty's having a nice little fight here with Kiestro.
They're both as Luca and Stiggy. Stiggy's retired. He's not very happy with himself. Don't blame him.
Oh God, are we gonna have an angry Stiggy after the race? That's something you never want, an angry Stiggy.
No.
Real Porty now all of a sudden under pressure from Suarez. He was looking rather close to the front of Scopez, however, with a little wiggle, that has now pushed him back 1.2 seconds off of the back of Kiestro, and now Suarez just 3 tenths behind. Looking dangerous, very, very dangerous. Closest battle we got all race, so let's have a little look at it.
A little bit about beautiful.
Got to say though, we haven't had major amounts of fighting, but at the same time, we've still had like a race that's gone by pretty quickly. There's Suarez. He's gone for it down the inside, easy as that. That was absolutely miles away from the braking zone as well. So showing a clear and significant sort of speed increase. Also notably, that T-shirt very, very close to the back of Georgius. Georgius is in front. When did that happen?
I don't know actually. We missed that. We missed that.
We've missed that. Yeah, we've missed that, haven't we?
He's closing in on T-shirt, but he's closing on BR4 by the way.
He is considerably. It was what? It was 2.2 a couple of laps ago. It's now just a second. Well, he's got 2 laps to try and either A, do 4 seconds on BR4, or B, pressure BR4 into picking up a penalty and then just overtaking. Running very violent.
Force him into a mistake.
Yeah, a rather big mistake it'd have to be as well, wouldn't it? Can't just be a little little loss of traction and regain. It's going to have to be a full-on spin. Either way, Scopez has just managed to get himself past Tam, who's going rather slowly. So he's obviously spun some down in Sector 1. But Georgius struggling to sort of get underneath that second. Oh my God, T-Show's just launched that out of nowhere. I didn't see that. And that was close. That was so close. I mean, that's given BR4 a 2.5 second lead, but Jesus, T-Show, that was close. Very, very nearly into the wall. He's just about kept alive. Maybe a little bit too... I don't want to say optimistic, but maybe just a little bit too ambitious with that move.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Carter, the first race we've done out on Algato. We are... How close are we to winning? How close are we? We are one lap away, 1 minute and 27 seconds away.
Luca's gone and just set the fastest lap. It's nearly nightfall. Unfortunately, we don't get nightfall, in these 50% races. It's still pretty light at Abu Dhabi, but oh well. The fireworks still look spectacular, even in this sort of darkened blue light. There's Zartam coming into the pit lane. What I believe might be to retire the... Oh no, he's disconnected, as he's very much against this track in the Discord.
Does that mean Yossi's
T-Show's gone? Sorry. Georgius, I'm not quite sure why Georgius was just so slow down that straight, but T-Show has absolutely launched one down into that first chicane. That puts T-Show in front, obviously, because they're both on penalties. That keeps T-Show in front, so that is going to have to be Georgius. He's going to have to make a late brakings move somewhere, and he's got pretty close out of this corner, but I don't think he can keep hold of it. Both of them running about 5% ERS.
Yossi's champion then.
Does this make Yossi champion?
Yeah, Yossi's champion.
Yeah, with Zartam in P11.
Oh my word, these two are so close.
Well, I'm going to
Yeah, I
have
thought
to
to win.
quickly skip to the McLaren. It's been an absolutely amazing victory for him after not doing all that brilliantly all season. It's going to be Tisho that just about comes across the line and Georgius goes in front. Tisho got a 6-second penalty.
We missed that.
Oh God, we never saw anything.
Oh wow.
We're as good as blind mice. Nevertheless, Georgius manages to pick up P2 in the end, but it's a very, very impressive performance from BR4JK, who comes across to win his first race of the season. And we have to say congratulations to a driver who isn't here for winning the championship.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Yossi for winning the championship wherever he may be. But also congratulations to this McLaren driver who has driven an absolutely stellar drive all race. Piestro comes across in P5 with Suarez in P6 and Windex in the Alpine. It comes across in P7. Rioppordi P8 and Demorts in P9. Those two were very close to one another. 3/10. Jesse quite a far way back. P10. Zartom and Zartam P11 and P12 did finish the race. Tristan P13. Luca just coming across the line now in beautiful style. A perfect 360 across the line for Luca to finish 14th and round out Abu Dhabi.
Yeah. Well, obviously Abu Dhabi doesn't provide a good race because the overtaking opportunities aren't there.
Yeah.
So we're not going to say it was a good race because it wasn't. But you know, for the first time in about 17 years, we haven't seen a griddy.
My
So there we are.
respects for BR4JK is enormous. He's the only driver. Would I be correct in saying he's the only driver to have not griddied? I'm not too sure. I feel like that's quite a bold statement as well, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. So, we get some interviews in? Tom doesn't want to do one. Sorry,
Yes.
Diggy doesn't
Right.
want to do one.
Yeah, we
Just
will
get
see you all in just 1 second whilst we set up some possible interviews. Alrighty, so we have managed to get ourselves a interview. Unfortunately, it wasn't with a driver that did all that well. But Stiggy, how are you doing?
Not very well. I didn't really. I'm not very fond of this track. It doesn't really suit my driving style, and it's just a bit. There's not enough grip in the right places. I mean, I in terms of like, I couldn't get a setup that I was happy with really in terms of consistency and pace. I settled on a low drag setup, which benefited well, I think, in the first half of the race when I was in traffic with people. But then once the tyres had sort of gone through their early stages, I couldn't then. I just didn't have the grip really to be able to hold the pace I wanted to. The difficulty is with Abu Dhabi is that you've got, essentially you've got two sectors, both of which are all about low drag, right? There's, your second sector obviously is just two straights. Which I think I was fastest in qualifying in the middle sector anyway, but I was running like really low wings. And then come to the final sector, and I think I was like half a second, 0.4 of a second off everybody else. Just as I just couldn't get enough like cornering grip. The difficulty is that when I tried setups with high downforce, I was lapping slower than what I was on the low drag setup. And I thought to myself that the low drag setup would benefit for the race, and obviously it did for a bit. I didn't have a good start. Yet again, my clutch didn't disengage when the race started, so I had to then reapply gear up to move again. So I already lost over a second trying to get off the line. And then there was some contact, I think, to the right of me in turn one, which then made me hit Powdy, and then I then got a illegal overtake on him, so I had to let him by. And then there was some more contact I had to avoid, and I think I spun as well, all in the first stint, within the first like 2 or 3 laps. And then for the rest of the medium stint, I was catching up to the cars in front at quite a fair rate of knots. I got onto the back of them quite easily, and then my tyres went off, and then I just started making errors, really. It isn't my best track. I don't like it, really. I'm glad it's over. But yeah, I didn't get any points. Obviously, what this means is I think my position for P3 in the championship is in jeopardy now. So I've got to keep D Morts at bay in the last race. I don't know who else is actually on it, but I've come from nowhere in the past 2 or 3 races, the third in the championship. So I'm not upset really with the consistency, to be fair. But yeah, it was just not the right race.
Looking so from last. Suarez was in 30. So he was a little bit off. He was 11 points off. I don't think he's caught 11 points this race. He might have, only just though. If he had.
Where's D Morts? I think he was the other one. The other one who was.
He also retired as well, I believe. So.
Okay, right. So I'm still, I think, P3 then. So I don't think he got a podium, but it's just a case of beating them in the next race.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the next race is. What is it? Is it USA or something?
Austin.
Oh boy, love that. Bad to worse, that is. Right. Okay. Yeah. I'll see how I get on with it. I think I'm probably more confident in Austin actually than I am in Abu Dhabi, to be fair. I think it's a different track because it does, I think, pay more dividends to run, to focus a bit more on the first and last sector. Obviously, it's the other way around. Abu Dhabi was, 2 sectors of low downforce and then one of really high. Then you got the opposite in Austin. You've got 2 sectors with that require high downforce, and you've got one that doesn't require any. So I think, to be fair, it's more likely that people will be running high downforce for that race. But yeah, I'm hoping to do my best to see if I can get P3 in the end in the championship. I mean, Yozzie's done a great job this season. He doesn't even need to, he should be in this tier anyway. But he did a great job. But yeah, just not the race I wanted today, really.
Well, I mean, other than that, you've not the best of races for you, but it's still not the end of the world, is it? You're still in a decent little position. Going into Austin, going into the final race, what would you say? Like, how confident are you, basically?
I see no reason why I can't finish third in the championship. You know, Suarez and D Morts are both quick. There's no doubt about it. And I think there are some other guys who are catching up on points. I mean, I need to review the standings, to be fair. But I see no reason why I can't qualify in sort of like the top six, top seven, really. And normally I know my race pace is better than my qualifying pace anyway. It's sort of what's been a quite a trend. So I'm as long as I'm happy with the setup and I don't think I make any mistakes, because I mean, to be fair, that was probably the first race in a while I've made an error, or multiple actually in this case. That wasn't strategy, to be fair. But no, I'm looking forward to hopefully getting on a track that I've actually got a decent setup for, and I think will suit me a bit better. But yeah, I mean, only time will tell.
Well, other than that, Jack, do you have any other questions?
Not really. I feel like you said P3 is your main goal with championship. Obviously, before you went into the season, I think you said something like, "Oh, I'm looking to just come about mid pack." So obviously, one more race to go this season. I'm assuming you're proud of what you've done this season, but going into next season, where do you think you'll be going into season 33, 32, 33?
33. I mean, yeah, I said to myself, I wanted to be finishing, sort of like top six every race, and obviously here I am, third in the championship. Really, I mean, at the start of my season campaign was awful. I think there was 3 races out of 4 where I finished without any points. But then cut back to the second half of the season, I was just consistently putting in P6s, and then obviously I had a run of podium and then 2 P2s. And if you think about it, the only person that beat me those races was Yossi, and he really shouldn't be in this tier. He's just way too fast in comparison to the rest of us. So I think, to be fair, if he wasn't in the tier, I would be in a different place, because I'd be, I would have won 2 races by now. But I think next season, as long as Yossi's not in it, it'll be a good start. But no, I'm looking forward to seeing what the competition's like. I think some of the guys, like, that have been racing in the second half of the season have been quick. We've got Suarez, we've got Tycho, we've got D Morts and stuff. All have been really fast and consistent as well. I mean, we need people like that, and it's all really quite close for the win. People have got stronger tracks compared to each other, and it helps out for the championship. So really, if I could just get a repeat of the second half of this season, I'll be more than pleased. Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us. Nice to hear from you.
Thank you for having me.
Only one other thing. Your 3-word race roundup.
Dhabi sucks.
I say fair enough. Fair enough. It is a little bit questionable at times.
It's auto spins is the problem. It's just some of the corners. I mean, you see how many people were spinning. Just with like the smallest little loss of grip somewhere, and that's it. They're round. It's one of those. I mean, there aren't any tracks really on the calendar that do that. And then you've got the long left-hander coming into the third sector. I mean, that's just a waiting game until you actually get on the throttle, and even then, it gets you can still lose it when you're at full throttle over the end of the curb. It's one of those tracks that requires a lot of effort, and it doesn't feel very rewarding when you get it right. It's a bit different to Spa. Spa is rewarding when you get that right. It feels good, and you got loads of tracks that sort of feel like that. But Abu Dhabi, you're just like, oh, I've got to do it again now because I made it around the last time.
Oh, well, thank you for joining us. It's an absolute pleasure to hear from you. And we will
have a good evening. Thank you both.
See you next week.
You will. See you later.
Bye-bye.
Alrighty, so with that, you join us back once again for our final remarks for today. So, what do you think of it?
Oh, it was a nice little different change. To be honest, you know, the Elgato on the PC is a lot better than the PS5, PS4.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
It's high quality. High quality.
Yeah, beautiful quality.
Yeah.
But I'll try and get a face cam for next week. If I can't, then don't blame me. Blame Carter for not telling me we're doing Elgato until about 6
I
hours
gave
before
you
this stream.
6 hours.
That's not enough time. Not enough time for me to go out. But anyway, it's been a great season. So far. I might like it. It's been a great season.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I'm missing races. You missing races together, for variable reasons. But hopefully, next week Sunday we'll be on the Elgato again.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's gone
And,
absolutely swimmingly. I've got to say,
uh,
only 1 or 2 things have gone wrong, and I've got no idea. I've changed my camera sync, so I'm literally praying right now that it is synced because I have no idea.
but yeah,
But I mean,
I've
other than
enjoyed it.
that, it's gone very well.
Yeah. So
That, I've in the characteristics. That still image is Jack Tyler. Thank you all very much for joining, and good night.
This